Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Odds, and we are going to be talking about Daisy Jones and the Six, the Amazon series, not the book. We'll talk about the book a little bit. I did not expect to take a 2-week break from videos, but I did. I just did not have enough time, and I haven't. I'm literally behind on The Mandalorian, so I haven't been watching those and doing videos on that. Of course my cat wants out. The minute I shut the door, I swear my cat wants out. Like, she had been laying on the bed for 2 hours, and now she wants out because the door's closed. If you're new here today, I would love for you to subscribe. I do 2 videos a week. Typically, I did a 2-week break, but I should be back now. I do 2 videos a week. Film, TV, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, beauty vlogs. Not so much anymore, but there's something on this channel for everyone, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And if you like this video while you're watching, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. I didn't take notes, so this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna try to elaborate on how I feel about this show, although this probably will be a very quick video, even though it was 10 episodes. Was it 10 episodes? They did 3, so 6, and then 2. So yeah, it was 10 episodes long. They did kind of a funky release schedule for this. So they did 3 episodes the first week, which is typical for Amazon Prime. And then they did 3 episodes the next week. And then they did 2, and then they did 2. So they did a 4-part release instead of doing weekly episodes. I'm not sure why they decided to do that. Maybe just to condense it. Amazon Prime doesn't necessarily, I mean, they have a lot more shows than anybody really talks about, but in terms of like a hyped release, they didn't really have anything else coming that really would have coincided with this. I think Hunters should be finished, but I think Hunters might have finished before Daisy Jones even premiered, so I'm not sure. And in Hunters Season 2, it's the final season, and Amazon just straight up did not promote it. The first season, they really promoted. This season, they just didn't. The only shows I really saw Amazon promote were The Rings of Power and The Boys. They really promote The Boys because The Boys is fantastic, and they should promote it, but that's really the only 2 I've seen them promote. And The Rings of Power promotion was a little bit not great. But Daisy Jones was really promoted, so, and they're still talking about it now, which is like the series ended last week, so this video is going up a week late because it was supposed to come out last Saturday, but again, I digress. So it had kind of a funky release schedule, so it was not easy to keep up with. I think if they had done weekly releases, it would have been easier to keep up with, and then the hype would have lasted longer. But I feel like it just the show kind of came and it went. Although we're going to talk about future plans for Daisy Jones and Six because there is stuff that is in the works. So yeah, let's talk about the show. I watched the first 3 episodes and was not impressed. I did not like the show. I did not know where the show was. I did not like the way the show was going. They rushed through a lot of stuff. They really took characters and watered them down very, very much. I've never thought that with a show like The Boys, I never thought that Daisy Jones and the Six would be so watered down in comparison. My biggest complaints was like in the book, like before Billy goes to rehab and refuses to see his daughter, he is like a straight up major addict. Like, drinking is obviously the main problem for him, but I'm pretty sure in the book there's a point where he does try, or is like about to try heroin. So like him being like off the rockers because we saw him cheat on his wife and snort cocaine 1 time, that doesn't really seem like the tipping point anywhere. And Daisy is also, I think the cast is fine. I think they perform well together and they have good chemistry together. but Daisy is too nice. She's too sweet. She's too likable. That is what it is. Daisy is way too likable. When I reread the book recently, I realized that everybody in that band is absolutely freaking terrible. Like, they're horrible people. I do not support any single one of them. Maybe Graham and Karen, but then that whole thing happens and then maybe not. It's just, I don't know, guys. Like, yeah. Daisy doesn't go through her groupie phase at all. She's, another thing they kind of emphasize all the time in the book, that's like a little minor detail that really bothered me. Not because I have a foot fetish, but she never wears shoes in the book. And then in this, she's always wearing shoes. I think it just goes with like the 70s free, hippie, free-spirited, groupie, like child groupie kind of thing. Which, like, a movie like, and people were bringing up in comparison, a movie like Almost Famous really captures very well. Whereas this kind of just, it seems like a bunch of people putting on a play of something in the 70s. Like, it doesn't really seem, I don't really buy that it is something set in the 70s. I just really don't. And that's unfortunate. I think the production design is good, but the characters don't sell that they're in the 70s. They just don't. I mean, Billy has a side part. What's going on there? He should have a middle part. So, again, I think they're cast fine. Karen's British. That's just out of the bag. I don't think she's British in the book. They never mention if she's American or not, but I never picture her having a British accent. I guess Suki Waterhouse just didn't want to do an accent. That's fine. I thought Graham and Eddie were great, and Warren, they were all great. Warren kind of was selling it to me the whole time. Like, he was just having a good time, and that was great. Yeah. I thought Graham and Karen were great. As they were my favorite couple in the book, so it makes sense. Couple-wise, guys, I feel like I like Camila, and I like that she had moments where she stood up for herself, but I just don't think that they gave her much to do. I think they just really wanted her to be the third person in a love triangle, which love triangles, worst. Hate love triangles. They're terrible. They're lazy. They suck. No more love triangles. Please get that out of media. And yes, they do have a thing. Billy and Daisy do have a thing in the book. It's not something that was created for the show. They heightened it for the show because they knew people would like it. And unfortunately, I feel like in the book, you're rooting more for Camila and more for Daisy as individuals, not really wishing for them as a couple. I mean, there are people who interpreted it that way. I personally didn't. I didn't think that you were supposed to really root for Billy and Daisy, but in the show you definitely are. So that was quite annoying. Billy the whole time just gave me the ick. Like, this man gives me the ick. Sorry to Sam Claflin, but you give me the ick in this role. Sure, as a person he's fine, though he's British and we don't like British people. Yeah, music though, music was really good. Again, different than what I expected, so it wasn't quite as Fleetwood Mac as I expected. It is very soft rock, so when Eddie's complaining about me being a pop band, it makes a lot of sense because a lot of the music is very pop-ish. Favorite songs are Two Against Three. I think that's a beautiful song. Although, again, don't think Daisy sounded the way that I really wanted her to sound and how she was supposed to sound from the description of the book. Riley talked about how she modeled her voice after Linda Ronstadt, which I was like, no. Sure, model your voice after Stevie Nicks. Because this band is obviously supposed to be like Fleetwood Mac. But I love Two Against Three. I think it's a beautiful song. And then I love Regret Me. I think that's the strongest, more rock heavy of the songs on the album. But they did the best they could with like being written by pop artists. So when pop artists write rock music, I guess it doesn't turn out the way that you would expect. But I dig this. So I liked the finale. I didn't love the first 3 episodes. It did get better. They just made weird changes. Nikki was Irish instead of being Italian, and there was a whole thing, and he was an enabler for sure, but he, again, wasn't as bad as he should have been. I feel like Daisy only was strung out like once or twice in this show, and she was like strung out the entire time in the book. But the finale I thought was good. They do their final show, and then it shows that Julia is doing the interviews and that Camila did die of cancer. So that got me a little bit, some personal things that I'm going through in regards to cancer. So, yeah. So let's talk about future things for Daisy Jones and the Six. They're rehearsing. The actors are rehearsing as a band. I believe it'll be for an SNL performance. But there is a rumor that they're going on tour. While I didn't love the show, I do love the music, and I would pay to see them on tour. So if they do go on tour, I will be there. And maybe I'll give you my review on it. We'll see. I'm scheduled to go to quite a few concerts this year, so we'll see about that. But yeah, ultimately did not love this. I was really anxious that I wasn't going to like it. And my anxious feelings came true. This is one of my favorite books of all time, so I was really critical on it, and I don't know. I just felt like it's a very watered down version of the book, and a lot of the things they just changed and made completely different. So a lot of people still really like it. That's your opinion. It's not mine. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big old thumbs up, and I will see you on Wednesday with a new video. Bye!